A good start to fresh FNO series, good auto sales number and a third week of positive close despite the somber macro cues pretty much makes up for the day's action as well as the week action for the markets today. Hello and welcome to Bloomberg Quint. Hi, I'm Nikki and I'm going to be wrapping up the market action for you. Quickly, if you look at the top gainers and losers for the day, you would say the Nifty ended with gains of around 0.5% and topping the list we had Dr. Reddy's here, which ended the day with gains of around 9.73%. Next in the list, we have another pharmaceutical counter out here, Aurobindo Pharma, which ended the day with gains of around with 5%. Asian Paints, Tata Motors and Bajaj Auto, pretty much the auto dominated day today. Auto sales number, a good month of August pretty much did the trick for all the auto sales number. They too made it to the top gainers list. On the flip side, we had TCS, Power Grid and Indian Oil Corporation, Bharti Airtel and Tech Mahindra. These stocks were down and out with losses of around 1 to 2%. With this, I'd like to introduce our guest Sarvendra Srivastava, the independent market expert. Hello Sarvendra, welcome to Bloomberg Quint. My first question to you is, the new series has well begun on a good note. Do you think market has enough stomach to scale fresh new highs now?
Yeah, big hello, yes. See, I think there are two things back to back which have happened. So firstly, that we had a monthly close yesterday and today we had a weekly close. So now if you look at these two pictures, it might look a little skewed because on the monthly side, if you look at the Nifty, Bank Nifty and the mid cap, we have had monthly negative red bars, negative closes, and on the week, as you rightly pointed out, last 3 weeks, it's been a gradual kind of an uptick on all these three indices, and the weekly setups have been green. So now going back to the basics of technical analysis with a top-down approach, I think the larger time frame, which is the monthly, has to be given more weightage right now. No, not to say that, not to undermine the weekly setups, but yes, when we are on a monthly negative close across the indices, I think there's definitely time to sit up and take notice and be slightly cautious into this bounce back. If I may point out, I think Bank Nifty has had a much weaker bounce back than the Nifty itself. So that itself tells you that I would say that caution is still the buzzword. Next week, Monday, Tuesday would be very critical as to how we follow through or not. But my sense is that Nifty had got a very stiff hurdle at 10,000, which is an important psychological mark. So 10,000 to 10,050 on the Nifty is a very, very important psychological resistance. Monday would be the key asset test if we are able to break and close past that. If that is happening, then yes, as you rightly pointed out, then 10,150 would be taken out and all-time new highs on the Nifty would definitely be challenged. Now that might not be the case for the Bank Nifty, which is still, I think, 600, 700 points away, almost 700 points away from the all-time highs at 24,500. So again, there will be a slight disconnect between the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. But yes, if Nifty were to break 10,050 by Monday's close, then there's a possibility that we print a new high on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty would also pull back. But as I rightly pointed out, looking at the monthly setups, a little bit of caution is always better.
All right, today's trade, pharmaceutical counter was shining in trade today. If you'd say Aurobindo Pharma and Dr. Reddy's Laboratories were the two stocks which eked out maximum gains. Your view on these counters?
See, I think I'll address it with the Pharma BSE Healthcare Index itself, which I regularly track. I think that index is actually at very pretty goody support. So, and that good support area is probably now reflecting in stocks, the beaten downs first. So I think Dr. Reddy's was beaten out of shape, a 4,000 plus rupee kind of a stock going all the way till 1,900. Now I think clearly a vicious pullback is now underway, and I would say that, and we have been maintaining that medium term, we are starting to like the risk reward on the pharma space when we have had discussions earlier as well. And I would continue with that theme and say that yes, this pullback can last, and this pullback can last for at least 15 days to 1 month, and if that is the case, then for Dr. Reddy's, which are more clear, I think you could be in the range of around 24 to 2,500 in the next 15 days, 1 month. So anybody wanting to trade that, look to trade that on the long side with suitable stop loss.
Sarvesh, having addressed the pharmaceutical counter, anything attractive apart from the two counters that I've mentioned that you'd like?
See, I think we have already discussed the underperformers, and within that, I think, as I said, I liked the Dr. Reddy's more. But when I go back to and say that stocks which have kind of fared well, which is Cipla, I think over the last couple of months it has nicely held at 550 560 support area, and it's been consolidating there now almost 1.5 months now. So my sense is that from that space, if I have to choose one, which is the outperforming pharma space, which has not fallen, I would say that Cipla looks good, and 610, 620 is doable. Again, for a month's perspective, I think 610, 620 is doable on Cipla.
Sarvesh, the next stock or the space that I'd like to talk about is the metal space. Now, you would see the aluminium producers, be it Hindalco or Vedanta. These two stocks have done extremely well today. I'd like to understand your view on the same, and would you also prefer Vedanta over the Hindalco?
See, I think both the setups are more or less same, and the problem here is that both of them are grossly overbought. So both have kind of moved from sub 100 levels to wherever they are. So they are multi-baggers already in the last 1.5 to 2 years. Now, to enter fresh trades from here, you need to get fresh kind of buy signals, which probably, I think, in my sense, I think that is still a week, 10 days ahead. But yes, the overall setups are good. The stocks can probably add another 5-10%. That is possible. But I would say that it's a smoking hot sector, and when you take something smoking hot, there's a chance that you get burned. So I'll say they've already run their course. They are overbought. So if you are venturing as a new trade, you have to venture with caution. If you are holding the old ones, then yes. If you are holding Vedanta and Hindalco from the last 6 months, 12 months, then probably you should hold on. Trail your stop losses. A stop loss trail on Hindalco will be in the region of 220. 210, 220 is the support. So those supports in mind, and probably trail your stop losses there. And for Vedanta, a similar level will be between 280, 290, good supports there. So just hold on and trail those levels and hold on to those long trades.
All right, Sarvesh, before we ask you some other question, let's quickly do a broader analysis check out. If you see in the list here that you would see Nifty 500 stock index has done extremely well, just like your large cap. It's up with gains of around 0.69%. Himachal Futuristic Communication has ended the day with gains of around 14%. Sun TV Network has done well with gains of around 10%. Then you have Central Bank of India, which ended up with trade with gains of around 8%. On the flip side, you have Religare Enterprises, Shilpi Cables, Infibeam. They all were the losers and ended the day down and out with losses of around 4 to 10%. Sarvesh, I'd like to understand what specific wealth creation ideas for our viewers, anything that you like in the broader space.
I think wealth creating ideas from here, if you want to look at and have stocks which are with very good, extremely good long-term risk-reward ratios, I think then you will have to see, you have to find that from the basket of underperformance. I think outperformance already has been rewarded 5 times, 6 times, 10 times. So to find another 6-bagger, 10-bagger from a stock which is already a 5-10 bagger, it becomes difficult. So in that sense, you'll have to go and look at the slightly underperforming kind of a pocket. And if I have to go and look at that thing, then from the private banking space, I think 2 names come to my mind: Axis Bank, ICICI, with a disclaimer that all these stocks that we are discussing are in regular coverage and we have interest in the stocks that we are talking about. But as I said, both ICICI and Axis still not moved up from the underperforming space, things getting better, pattern setups, consolidations forming up nicely. So definitely they have the potential to create wealth from here, where they can be 2-3 times from or 5 times from where they are right now. And all these stocks, if you are buying and wanting to make a 4-bagger out of that, say an Axis Bank, you'll have to have a horizon of at least 18 to 24 months. So you need to keep that in mind. Now, one name that comes from the PSU space to a similar level is SBI. The way the stock has now been consolidating between the 270, 280 price area, all the previous panics in the last 12-8 months have kind of tapered down in that 270, 280 price area, including this one that is going on right now. Last 15-20 days, it's been holding that 270, 280 price area. So my sense is that this is again one stock which has underperformed till now. A large cap stock with a potential to be at least 2 to 3 times from wherever it is right now in the next 18 to 24 months is SBI. So 3 names within the large cap space I can give you, which I feel can give you a nice wealth creation flavor, and these are these 3 names.
All right, so Sarvesh, in that case, well, trade with caution in the smoking hot metal space. We could look into enter ICICI Bank, Axis Bank and SBI. That's the recommendation coming in from our market expert, Sarvesh. Sarvesh, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you. For you guys, don't go anywhere and do stay tuned into Bloomberg Quint for more.